Welcome back, everyone, to part 3 of our topic in energy. And today we're going to talk about something that's called a conservation of energy. So many scientists believe that there is a certain amount of energy in the universe, no more and no less. It has been this way since the beginning of time. The energy is constantly moving around the universe, changing from one form to the other. So, energy comes in a lot of different forms. For example, sound energy, kinetic energy, heat energy, light energy, those are different forms of energy. And the universe or the world around us follows a law for energy, and this law is called the principle of conservation of energy. And this law states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. So you cannot create energy out of nothing. You cannot have your hand out and then suddenly there's energy. It has to come from somewhere. And the same thing, you cannot just make energy disappear. It has to go to somewhere else. So energy cannot be created or destroyed and only changes from one form to the other. For example, when a car is moving because it gets its energy from the fuel. Well, but the fuel? The fuel gets its energy from that plants and animals who are fossilized from billions of years ago. And those dead plants and animals get their energy from the sun and so on and so forth. Okay? So energy always have to come from somewhere, and once they are used up, they change into a different form of energy. And the total amount of energy within this universe is always the same. So this simply means that we change energy to different forms, no matter what forms they are, and the total value would always be the same. Let's see how energy is converted from one form to another. So these are some examples. Like a candle changes chemical potential energy. So it uses the chemicals inside the candle and the fuel that can light up the fire, and that will change into light energy and heat energy. So the light from the candle and the heat from the candle comes from the chemical energy of the candle. And you will see the total remains the same. So if you add 400 plus 600, that will give you back to 1000. So the energy before and the energy after are the same, is always equal. Let's look at running. Running, you use up the chemical potential energy in your body. So that means the food in your body is being used up to change to kinetic energy so that you can move. Heat energy, the body heat, and also sound energy, which means the sound that you make while you are running. And again, the total energy is the same. So 500 plus 400 plus 100 gives you back to 1000 joules. Another example is the table lamp. A table lamp uses electrical energy, so the electricity that is from the power socket, and then changes that to light energy and heat energy. And again, the total is the same, 700 plus 300 gives you back 1000. Photosynthesis, which is a process that you learn in biology. This is where the plant uses the sunlight or light energy and change it into food or change it into chemical potential energy. And as you can see, it takes 1000 joules from the sunlight. So this is an example, and uses all of that energy into chemical potential energy into making the food. When an object is falling, a ball is falling, it changes from gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy. So these examples are just to show that energy doesn't disappear. They change and the total energy remains the same. So here are some of the examples. You can pause this video and read them one by one, but the idea here is the same. Energy changes from one form to the other. So what you learned today is that energy doesn't just disappear, doesn't just come out of nowhere. Energy is transferred from one object to another by changing its form from one form to another. For example, from electrical energy to light energy. And also, the universe or the world follows this law, and this law is the principle of conservation of energy, which is this statement here: energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only changes from one form to the other. The total amount of energy within the universe is always the same. So, this one you have to remember for your exam. The next part, which is part 4, we're going to talk about power.